Metalica Pharmaca.
Dressed in black, mariachi on the spot with the hat. 333, walking over the bodies. They took too much hot purple. I got the boogie. I'm out of here. C'est la vie. Dias de la muerte. Arrivederci. Growing weed in the graveyard. Purple and green. The chariot. Twin dragons drawing. Just burn it, Nike. It's on fire. Hold me tight. Every day and every night. With a black briefcase full of venomous things. The muse of Urania. Leaving bodies in the street. Antonia's will, she harvests your dreams. Sharp darkness, war of the words, war of the worlds. Maple syrup, cup of sugar, flowing over with the frankincense and myrrh. From the house up on the hill, Medusa cut them rugs.
They call me the boogeyman. No one can do it like I can. Call me the boogeyman. I'm gonna walk out on you.
Welcome back to Lady Babylon. This is Initiating Apocalypse. And I have the final in a series for you tonight. This is the great climax. I'm going to bring to you Thomas in all of his glory. That's right. We're going to get some Meat Man. I know that people have been asking me to see Meat Man again. Bring him on back. We're going to bring him back. But tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to go to one specific location within the Black Bible. Now, I call it that because this is the Bible before the Bible was censored. You see, the Christians had all these documents. They were reading these documents, and they didn't distinguish between the Acts of Thomas and the Gospels that you know and love today. No, they didn't. So what I am doing is I am using those documents that the people looked at before the councils met and said, hey, we're not going to use this and this and that. And oh my God, did you see what's in that one? Right? And they pushed it out. So I am going to take you back in time tonight when that hadn't happened, when people were just reading. They were reading. And what were they reading? The Acts of Thomas. The Acts of Thomas. Now, all of this, everybody here knows it, right? You know what it's all about. It's all about the mystery and showing you the mystery. I'm going to show it to you in a way. It's absolutely gorgeous tonight. You're going to be seeing the early Christians do it right now. If you are a so-called Christian here tonight, this is not your people, right? You are a different beast altogether. In antiquity, we are talking about Christianity as a functioning mystery, dude. They are doing things that you do not. Of course, part of this is the drugs. Ryan, part of this is the music. Part of it is the initiation and the opening of the eyes. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Part of it is being born again. Part of it is having ionic life. Oh, God. Let's see him doing it, man. I love these Christians, man. I want to see them. I want to see the actual Christians doing actual things. Satanic Congregation. And by the way, thank you for waiting an extra hour tonight. I appreciate that. But Satanic Congregation, you know how it is. I'm talking directly to you. You know how it is. We're going to bring the rite out, and we're going to profane it. And that is what you love doing here. It is called profanation. That's why blasphemy is so delicious, because it takes your sacred and exposes it. And that's what we're here to do, right? Christ and Antichrist. It all makes sense scientifically, kiddos. Eat your vegetables. Here we go. Let's go in early tonight. I want to give you look, Flash this up there and shock people. Oh, by the way, those of you with weak stomachs, be careful tonight. It's not just Meat Man we're looking at. What am I going to do? Everybody gets a ticket to hell. Isn't it going to be nice? Not just hell, right? But within hell, Tartarus. Woo! We're going in deep. We're going to go to where they keep the offenders. And you know how we're going to get there? That's right. We're going to take somebody and we're going to send them there as a messenger. And we're going to suck out the information that we can have from across the great veil of death. We're going to bring her back. And when we bring her back and we all see her, we are all born again. Do you understand? This is what we are doing, whether we're in Eleusis, in Athens, the home of the Virgin, the place of justice. Right? We're either going to be there or we can be elsewhere. We can be elsewhere performing the mystery. Right? This is real Christianity. This is real Christing. To every Christian out there, please ask someone, what is a Christ? Ask them. Fantastic. Look, there he is, right? Now, where are we going, though? Don't get all happy here, Jesus, because we're going straight to hell tonight. Let's just, forget about it. Let's take off our skin. We're going straight to hell. Open up with the number one. What is that? What is it I'm bringing you tonight? I'm bringing you the story of the young kid who killed the girl. Oh, God. Is this is going to get us to, this is going to get us. Okay, here, it's a story tonight. It's fitting for the time of year, people, right? The story of the young guy who killed the young girl. Now, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in this story. Oh, God, there was this kid, right? And he had done this terrible thing. He comes in and he takes the Eucharist and he puts it in his own mouth. And right away, his hands are paralyzed. He can't even reach up to his own face. Okay. This is what happens when you mess around with drug using, quantum, time and space surfing mofo Christs. This is what happens. This poor kid. What are we going to do? Oh, God, give me the next one. Yeah, no, that's the one we just did. Yep, next one. There we go. And look, the kid says, he confesses, I have done a terrible thing. Right? A terrible thing. This is a violation. It's a violation of cult custom. This is not how you use the drug. What did he miss out on? What did the kid miss out on? The cup. Any amateur knows this is not how it works. If you'd been initiated, punk, you would have known. Okay? Or if you were initiated, you weren't paying attention, things done a very specific way. And I'm sure that this happens a lot in these initiatory cults, right? If you're not being properly guided, right, by the authorities through this process of healing that takes place through opening your mind by putting you into death and bringing you back, if things can go wrong. So they did here, and the kid pay attention, little dude. I kind of feel like he deserves it. Does anybody else out there, satanic congregation? This dude got what he gets. Ha, ha, ha. You can't even feel your hands. Nummy hands. Let's call him Tommy Nummy Hands. No, Timmy. I'm sorry. Timmy Nummy Hands. Fantastic. Give it to me. You see the demons, they're very specific about names. Okay, are you ready? What does the kid say? Oh, look, it's your fault, Thomas, because I took the seal. Right? I received it. I received the seal. Have you been sealed in the modern day faith-based religious knuckleheads will say, ho, ho, ho. Here, it's your head. Lo, lo, yeah, seal. Slap you on the top of the head if you're charismatic. Right? Right? You're sealed. That's not what this is talking about. What is that, Sfragis? People, give me the next one. People, it's a drug. They're talking about a specific drug made appropriately by priestesses. Jesus, don't you want... Jesus Christ, do you ever listen? Do you ever listen? No, and that's the problem. Nobody does to these texts. And so then you and I can sit around and we can get taken into back alleys with people telling us all sorts of stories because nobody goes to the text. Nobody. Let's go to them. Let's go to them. Pour it out. Chewy, give me the Limnian again. I just want people to remember the Limnian seal, people, right? Right? A tablet, right, of Limnian medicinal earth. Why is it coming from the earth? That's what I want you to think about tonight, because tonight I'm going to bring it to you and throw it in your face. It's from that which is dug from the ground. It is from the Metalicos. Do you understand? It is this pharmacon that we are using in our rites. Do you want to see us? Do you want to see us using them? You sick. They're all sick. You're all perverts. Lashes for all the appropriate distribution of punishments for those who are perverted. Oh, God. Feels good. It feels good. Now, why? You say, why, Amen? Why would you bring out the crop? And why would you demonstrate such things like this? Because you've got to understand, sometimes when you deliver a pizza, you need a horse crop. Let's go. Just keep going. Keep going. Love it. Me too. Who was that? Oh, Gandhi. By the way, Gandhi, you just did that because you want me to say, you want me to give a shout out to you, Gandhi, didn't you? You did. You wanted me to give you a shout out because these texts, Gandhi is the one who acquired these. I was looking all over for him, right? These Greek texts. Okay. Thank you, Gandhi. Woo! Shout out. Give me the next one. Oh, God. What did we even finish that? Yeah, we did. Okay. So look at this, people. The kid says, look, there's a girl who ends up getting killed here, right? What's happening, right? Well, turns out he's going through the drug process with Peter in a group, right, with other people. They talk about doing it with other people, right? When Thomas lays down the spiritual law, right? He talks about unions. If someone enters in to a polluted union, most especially that which is moicheia. You know what moicheia is? Moicheia is when you're sitting there and you're looking across your neighbor's yard, mowing on a Saturday morning. You're looking across there and all of a sudden, out she comes. Oh, and you kind of duck behind the bush. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And you're looking there. And you're like, wow, anybody home? That, what you have in your mind is moicheia. Do you understand me? It's that energy that zaps you, that has complete and total control. And the Christians, the earliest Christians, according to the Acts of Thomas, said it is this sexual drive that is the root of evil. That is why you must drive it out in order to have ionic life. If you switch your intercourse to ionic, you will be pure. Do you see what that allows for? It allows for me to put you into a state of death, to bring you to a place of arousal and climax, to bring you back from an oblivion of coma where you have envisioned what is beyond death. Do you understand? When you come back, you will see what is unseen. I am the twin Christ, says Thomas. Do you know why? That was Jesus. He was doing, I was like calling him that and stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's like, twin Christ, baby. Right? Didymus. Right? Oh, God, I love it. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Do you see what happens? I'm going to take the part of Thomas, right? Just let me, I know it's creepy. But let me just assume you're sitting there on your throne, by the way, congregation. You're sitting there on your throne. Everything good? Fine. This is how I want you to see it. Through that Scythian medicine, I want you to see it. Through that fumigation, I want you to see. What do we have? I am Thomas. And if you will come to me, I will cast out your sexual demon and give you ionic life. Isn't that nice? Between the two of us, we can generate a third, because wherever we come together, Jesus is there. Wait, what? Yeah. We can both hear and see him. Do you remember Paul? Paul was banging on this stuff. He was blasted out of his mind, said, I got blasted up. What heaven did he get blasted up to? I don't know, because I don't know that architecture. Right? I can only tell you what they've told me. But I can tell you this. He was there, immune to the venom. He was on it, kicking. And it wasn't the Pythia who was taking him there. That's who it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the Pythia. What are you doing with Ganymede, Jesus? He's got 12 of them. He's got 12 cups. One of them sits on his lap. Do you understand? Oh, God. Where is the Last Supper? And why was Jesus clothed? Didn't he take off his clothes? Did anybody recognize that Jesus Christ took off his clothes in front of a room of teenagers? Yeah. Youths. Took off his clothes and washed their feet. The youngest one could sit on his lap and come up to his breast. Nobody noticed that? Do you know why you didn't notice that? Yeah, because you had theology stuck up your brain. You've been taken to the back alley, and you know what? We're here to free you. Satanic Congregation is here to free you. And how do we do that? We don't do that by you buying mugs. We don't do that by you sending any donations. We don't do that by running any sort of advertisement. And if they are running, I know people have complained to me. They're using advertisements off of you, right? Sometimes you click on there and no, I am not monetized. Shame on you, people. Do you see what the bottom line is, people? Do you see what it is? Prostitution has many, many forms, buyers and sellers and merchants. Do you love it? Do you love it? It's gorgeous. Give me the next one. Quick, kick them up. They're just getting there. Okay, everybody, I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm going to force you to watch the exit, by the way, that Chewy made tonight before the actual exit, because I want you to see something gorgeous. I just don't want you to miss it, right? I don't want you to miss it. It's like a time traveling extravaganza, right? What does this say? Oh, God. Right? I loved her very much. Who are we talking about? We're talking about the girl. Who is this? What? First, we had a kid, walks into a place, takes a drug called a Eucharist by this dude who everybody else is calling a sorcerer or magus that you and I know as Saint Thomas. Yeah, the apostle to India. Yeah. So here he is, and what's happening? He's got this kid. Kid's freaked out. Help, right? He's all paralyzed and everything. I know that's not funny. It's a little funny. It's a little funny. Just a little. No, it's not. You cannot make fun of children who have been paralyzed in Christian ceremonies meant for the administration of drugs in other ways. Oh, it's a violation. What happens? Okay, remember, this is early Christianity. Right. So he's totally in love with this girl and he needs her. You know what I mean? And he wanted to persuade her. He tried to persuade her to become his sunoikos. Right. That's the person that lives with you, literally. Right. But he wanted her to enter in, and you can see him sitting there they're sitting there at the table or something. Right. Discussing it. Right. And he wants her. It's like he's proposing to her. Right. It's like, and he really loves her. Right? He really loves her. And what happens? He says, I want you to enter into Hagneia Kaipolidea Katharai. What is that? What is that? That is a holy and purged or cleansed politeia. A politeia. That is an association that you have that you usually refer to with citizens of one group. Right? Because Christianity is its own group, its own society. And the laws, you can see within the society here, the laws within the society are that when you enter into a union, it has to be a union within the church. Right? It has to be a union within the church. Right? Has to be a holy union. Now, here's the problem. He's going to explain to her what that requires. She's got to have Thomas expel her demons. Do you understand? This is a holy union, and she will come to him from now on. No more husband if there wasn't one, but no more husband if there was. Okay? Do you understand why this is so disruptive to civil society in Rome? Do you understand? People are walking away from their families, right? They're walking away from mothers and fathers. They're going to say that. They're going to say that. What is this? Something tells me these apostles were up to no good. Listen, listen, LT. Listen, LT. We got to cast out those demons, right? We got to cast out those demons. There's only one way to do it, right? The proper way to do it is having Jesus show up. If Jesus doesn't show up, you're doomed. That's the mark that everybody gets sealed with. It's a place you get drugged into. Do you understand? Where you can now see and hear what is invisible and not there. Oh my God. Oh my God, Christianity at its absolute best. Oh, do we have babies in hell tonight? We do. Ladies and gentlemen of satanic congregations, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to present to you tonight Babies in Hell. Can we just get a preview? Should we have Babies in Hell? Oh, that's right. That's right. It's coming. Okay, take it down. Take it down. We're going to spoil it, right? Take it down. Babies in Hell. Who wants to go to hell? Speaking of that, let's go to hell. Are you ready? Let's make sure I finished all that last one. And yeah, no, okay. But it says, you know what? She didn't want to. She was sitting there and she didn't want to. She didn't want into this union. And you know me. I was like, dude, I do not want you to enter into an unholy union. Because Thomas, what did he say before? Thomas already said, you don't have ionic life this way. In order to get ionic life, do you understand? You must have your sex demons purged. It has to be a holy, purged politeia. Do you understand? No akatharsia. All right, we can't take that. That porneia, it's got to be from the cup, or else you're going to end up like this kid. Right? You see him. He's still there like, oh. Right? Okay, anyway, that's not nice. Don't make fun of this poor drugged kid. Did he just do that? I can't believe that. I can't believe that. So what did he do? He killed her. Right? He didn't want her. Right? She didn't want it. Look, people, long story short, she didn't want to enter the cult. All right? Forget that association. I don't want to marry into you, you perverts. Right? Your leader's a wizard, drug peddling wizard. I don't want to enter into that group. Right? So what does he do? He doesn't want her not to have ionic life. So he kills her. He kills her. Ah, does he? Does he? Oh, this is getting... Okay, look, now you know somebody's going to go to hell. Right? Now, who do you think it is that's going to go to hell? I told you we would send somebody to hell. We're going to do it through Metalica. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here she is. And you say, what? Yes, we're sending her to hell. We're sending her to hell. All right. Okay, let's see what happens. Long story short, Thomas is going to revive her. All right. He's going to show the kid how it works. And they're going to revive her. And then, being the good mystery priests they are, they're going to find out what she did. Do you understand? This is how you send somebody to the beyond and bring them back. There is always a murder involving wizards. That's why the Apocalypse, the book of John, the great revelation, that's why it talks about don't be those people who are the murderers and sorcerers who use that prostitution, the temple prostitution, that cup of porneia. Do you understand? Paul was trying to get him to stop too, right? Why? Because Paul had Ganymede. What do you need Helen for? That's what they called her. What do you need Helen for if you've got Ganymede? This stuff comes right from Ganymede too. What are we talking about? Polypharmacy and using humanity as a means of creating drugs, medicine. We're bringing health. Why? Because it comes from her body. Do you understand? Did you know that your body has the ability to produce drugs? Isn't that amazing? Isn't it gorgeous? You see, and I'm going to show you somewhere we have to go, though, in order to get there. And you're not going to want to go there. You're not. The eye-opening. It's always difficult. It's always difficult. Give me the next one. Quick. We're slow tonight. I'm sorry, people, but let's get, I know your time is valuable, so let's hit the high points. Moichewa, what does that mean to commit adultery? Seriously? Right? Remember the lady across the yard? To debauch, right? She came over once. She was like, how you doing? I was like, I'm doing pretty good. Right? I looked like a deer, I think. Anyway, we'll continue that story later. It metaphorically, what is that saying metaphorically? This word for committing adultery is also the word for worshiping idolatry. Worshiping idols. Right? And what are the sources there? Notice it's the Septuagint. It's the Bible, people. Why don't we just go there and see how they're using the word kaigeneto Ace Uthin, hey pornea. And everybody says, oh, well, there's some pornea. Her pornea, oh God. Right? Her pornea. You want to see how she's doing it? Look at the last line. Emoihese doxulon kai ton lithon. What is she moiheoing? She is using the wood and the stone. She's using the wood and the stone. Do you see why idolatry is the same? Idolatry is the same as fornication. Do you see why it is? Because of the wood and the stone. And when she uses it, you're going to have the communion. You're going to have the communion. Are you ready? It's a communion of death. Oh, you say, what? Communion of death. This is the Black Bible after all, right? It's a communion of death. Oh, we're going there. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Let's keep going. Chewy, hit it. Another star system. Look what happened. Oh, so the kid shows Tom, right? Thomas, what happened? He shows him. And they go and they find her there, right? She's outside the city in this little place. And she's laying there, right? Just like we showed you. And what does Thomas say? Oh, God, this is crazy mixing. Right? Wait, what? Yeah. Oh, money. Oh, this makes this. Give me the next. I need to jump ahead. He says it's what? He says this is a manic, crazy inducing mingling. He looks at the girl who's laying there dead. And what does he see? The first thing he sees is he says, oh God, this is an unholy intercourse. Right? Now, don't worry. It's not like he's saying, ay caramba, it's a unholy intercourse, right? Like he's a bonehead, right? No, he's not saying that, right? He's saying, oh my goodness, right? The kid is doing it. He's performing that duality with her, and she's dead, right? And he thinks he's killed her. He thinks he's killed her. And what happens? See, this is what happens when you let your kids, Christians, play with these drugs, man. This kind of stuff's going to happen. Why do you think he was trying to do that to her? Why do you think he was trying to do that? Because those drugs increase sexual appetite. They increase sexual drive. They use them that way for people with impotence problems. Okay, when you're Christing, you're sailing with these sex drugs on board. All right? What do you think? Why do you think Thomas is calling it a union? Right? He even tells you what kind of cult union it is. For the love of Satan. My God, man. Oh, everybody tries to blame. Everybody. Let's go. Hit me with the next one. I mean, go back to the one that was before. Yeah. Boom. The long one. That long one. There we go. Fantastic. He says, oh, this crazy coupling, this cult sex craziness. He says, oh, the epithumia. Oh, the horniness. People, there's no mistaking this. Any classicist can look at this and say, yeah, this is all about sex, people. And he's calling him out. And what is this? It's the work of the snake. It's the work of the snake. Do you understand? There is even a sect of these people, these Christians, called Ophites. Do you know what they do? They have semen communion, baby. Right? Right? Ophites and semen communion. Check it out. So what does he say here? He says, oh, look, this sex fest. What's going on? And he says, look, get me some water. Next one. He says, get me some water. And this is kind of interesting. I know you've got a depiction of this coming up, right? Why? What is he about to show you? He's about to show you the power of salvation, Ready? Bring his water up, right? Bring his water up. What happens? He gets a water and he invokes into this water the power of the Holy Spirit. Why? Because look at him, dude. He's got it, right? Dude's with it, right? What is he doing? He's going to bring down into the water this power so that the kid who messed up and killed this girl could wash himself and be filled with the power. Do you know what happens when you talk about cleaning up boys? You bring yourself back to that upper room. Okay? You're going back into the cult. And as proof of that, Thomas is about to give him more drugs. He's going to drug him again. Right? Oh, God. Give me the next one, Chewy. Give me the next one. Yeah, this one. No, next one. And what happened? So the apostle, they got some water, right? When it was brought in, he said, come, water. Now, listen to this. Listen. Elfete tahuda ta apoton daton tozonton. What's he say? Come, waters from the living waters. Right. What's he do? He makes a way for him to cleanse himself. Right? What do we do in these rites, baby? You're just watching the rites take place. It's kind of fun. Right? What's he doing? Okay, good. You got to get everybody to take a bath. P. Diddy says, you got to be so tall, you got to take a bath, bro. You got to be there, clean that person off. Right? Scrub him down. Get him clean. After all, we're bringing the power of the Holy Spirit, which is a magical operation at the time. So for those of you who are trying to reconcile this text with your fairy tale faith Christianity of the New Testament, it doesn't. You can't, people. You can't reconcile it. This is what early Christians did. It's just another document. Now, what's funny is people say here, so this is for the scholars tonight. This is for you scholars, you lazy packs of horse. Okay. Do you know why we do that to scholars? Oh, that one left a ringing in the ear. It did. That was really, whew. The scholars, why do we do that? Because the scholars never do their jobs, right? They never do. And all they do is spread propaganda that helps them to sell books so that chumps like me and you can read them and think we know something, right? It's the circus. It's the circus of, oh, I was just going to say something naughty. I know you want me to, but I can't. Let's keep this friendly to the family, right? Friendly to the family. We're all family here. Crack the whip, right? Didn't you all have an uncle that whipped things? Stepping out in the hot fire. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go to hell, right? Back to hell. We're not there yet, right? We're just pushing her. We're about to bring her back, and then we'll ask her, what's it like in hell, baby? Right? Give it to me. Remember, this is Christian. Come out, right? Oh, God, come out and, make a tent, right? In these waters, you're going to be the living essence in these waters in order that the charisma of the Holy Spirit can completely complete this completion. Bring her here. Hallelujah. Right? Only they said, Olaludzo, because they were all speaking Greek. Fantastic. Here they are. It's the charisma we want of that Holy Spirit. I don't know where he gets that stuff. I don't know. Where's the Holy Spirit get his charisma? Right? It's divine mojo. Did anybody know about that? He's the one who came upon the virgin. Nobody seems to point that out, right? Right? It's his charisma. Do you know what drips off of Aphrodite? Charisma. Did you forget that we were in a rite that involved unions, physical unions between people? There's got to be a lot of charisma. The drugs and the song facilitate the charisma. Do you understand how it works? Oh, God. Lay stays. We are pirates, people. Didn't you know the whole time? I just want you to see the value of the person, because we can get so much for each one, right? And we can make them do anything. We can make them do anything. Do you see the business that is behind religion? This is the business behind Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's why my Muslim brothers will be inheriting how many of these prostitutes? Yeah, you're going to end up with a lot, right? Fantastic. You better take some acid. Let's do the next one. It's sad, people. That's satire. Do you hear me? It's sad. It's so cripplingly sad because nobody cares. It's amazing. No, oh, I'm sorry. Chewy, what the hell? Chewy's like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about those girls in Afghanistan, man. I'm talking about those girls we abandoned, right? In Afghanistan. What a shame. What a shame. I hope they stand up. I hope they stand up someday. Tell those people what they can do with their burqas. Give me the next one. Yeah. What is this? Oh, and why do I do that, people? Because we are Athenians, right? We follow democracy. We worship the Virgin on the hill. I know it's hard for you to picture that in your brain because you're programmed to think of a dude who's getting executed all the time. Right? It's a shame. It's a shame. Oh, the sense of security. The sense of security that we have is remarkable. Right. It's just the start. Give it to me. All right. Here we go. This is not just the start. We're still going. Look, people, what happened? I just want you to notice his real intent. I brought this because his real intent was to guard her holiness. Do you understand? Because this sexuality is the element of the mystery that was removed by Christianity. Okay. This element of the divine female, right, and the communion that she has was removed, was excised from Christianity. Everything that you have received since that excision is fake history. It's fake history. You have a document that isn't even, there were never any Christians like any of you sitting there anywhere. There were never any Christians like that. These are the Christians. Give it to me, Chewy. Show them what the Christians are doing. It's people, I just want to help. I want to help people out there who are struggling. I know there are pastors who watch me. There are pastors, right? They know the Bible. They know these things. So this stuff clicks with them. When you bring these texts, it just clicks with them. And they suddenly realize, oh, God, that's what Jesus was doing. That makes sense, right? I always wondered about that, right? Oh, God. What does this say? So I want you to note, within the context of all this sexuality, the only reason Thomas, the only reason Thomas raised, I get all of his boys mixed up, man. The only reason Timothy, and remember, he's good looking because Thomas is good looking. Right, Judas Thomas. Right, this is the same guy. Thomas is good looking, and we know that because when Jesus tried to sell him, Chewy, the guy looked him over, right, and he was picking between Thomas and I forget who the other, Philip, maybe it was, and he said, "Oh yeah, no, Thomas is, he's the best, right, winky dinky." What does this say? This same guy, Thomas, the good looker. He's like, I feel really bad about this girl who is knocked out here, seemingly dead, and the kid thinks he killed her. right? And I feel bad for her, and I'm going to do something about it. Why? Corregar en eumorphos, because she is one hot girl, right? What do you mean, girl? What is Thomas talking about? Hot girls. Hot girls. Can you be more specific with an age? Yeah, we're talking the Kora. Now, isn't that appropriate? Isn't that appropriate? Because we're talking about the mystery of resurrection. Who do we resurrect at Lucis? The great Kora. The great Kora. And I want you to see that first line in the Greek. It had the thing that looks like the letter that looks like an F, an English F, but it's not an F. It's a digamma. It's a digamma. It's that invisible letter that follows the upsilon around. I just wanted you to see this girl, right? We get down to references, right? References to virginity, maidenhood, etc., etc., etc. The girl that he has done this to is El Morphe. You know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what El Morphe is? It's literally she of the shapeliness. Oh, God. Her shapeliness is very, very well done. Bravo. Bravo. So Thomas is interested. So he goes over. Isn't that nice little detail? Would they have left my ass on the ground? Right? Let the poisons get to him. Right? Ugly bastard. Right? Is that what they would have done? That's what they would have done. They know they would have. That's what it is. It's what it is. Give it to me. Give it to me. Next one. Yes, there. Oh, there. So what happened? Okay. So at this point, what do we do? There she is. Right? Thomas, freak. And his little kid, freak. Right? Who's killed somebody because he didn't want her having sex. What happens? Oh, God. So, Epentoi neoterois sphragisas auton. What is sphragisas auton? He sealed him. He sealed him. And all the Christians would say, oh, he's put a little sign. Little sign of the cross on him in oil. Yeah. No. He's applying that Metalica. Do you understand? You will conquer under that power. And that's why everybody around Thomas is calling him a sorcerer, a user of drugs. A user of drugs. A sorcerer is a user of drugs. It is one word. It's just that the Victorians and people before him couldn't come up with the idea. Sorcerer. Sorcerer, right? Okay. Somebody who's employing drugs to affect your mental state. Do you understand? That's how they bewitch you. Do you understand? I'm telling you, we can take anybody. We can drug them. We can put them through a sex rite and put them through this awfully horrifying experience, right? It's a fear-inducing experience, right? That meets in a climax. We can do that and raise them up. They'll be a totally different person. You can do this to people's minds. And it turns out the drugs facilitate the process that the music drives forward. Medea's music was more potent, they said, than even her drugs. And she had the most powerful drugs around. Okay. So the music was driving that. Gorgeous. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, no, it's okay. Chewie says, how's that? Give me the next one because I want to finish strong and give these people something. Look, people, we're going to take a slight detour into Philuminous just for 30 seconds, and we're going to see this is a work of his on poisonous animals. I just want you to see. Look at the line. The first word in this line is sunchrismata. These are headings, right, for each of the chapters. And he's got an entire chapter on the sunchrismata, the Christings. This is just Christing number 57. I just want to add it to the list, right? What are we Christing for? We're Christing for those reptiles, right? Those crawling things, right? And the bites that you receive from those wild animals, right? These are the boithemata. These are the things that will treat those conditions. What are they? They're Christing drugs. When Jesus said, you'll drink the serpent, right? Won't hurt you, right? You'll expose yourself, right? Well, hey, they were putting it up their backsides, right? Because that's where you get the effects, right? So he said, you'll drink a thanasimon, a death inducer, right? And it's not going to hurt you. Where do you think they're getting all the Christing remedies from, right? People said, oh, it's not Christ. We can't talk about Christing as a drug that you're putting into your eyes, right? Because that doesn't exist. Well, yeah, it does. It exists right in the Bible. You just didn't see it. You ignorant little pissants. Oh, I'm sorry. That was not. No, it's the people, right? It's the people. I'm reaching out to you because I don't want you to continue on your quest of ignorance toward a person who you don't even understand what his name and the title Christ is. You don't even understand what that is. I want you to see it. We're Christing people in sex rites. Do you understand? We are elevating our vision. We're being born again. And if you can't get it because you do missionary, that's your problem. Just don't complain when you can't raise the flag. Give it to me. Give it to me. God bless America. Have we had a 14? Oh, here it is. Everybody wants to see. What is this? I'll just explain it. Everybody wants to see Jesus with a naked kid in a public park in the Bible. People, it's in the Bible. Please don't censor me. It's in the Bible. They want to see the Bible. Mark 14:51 and 52, where Jesus gets arrested in a public park with a naked kid. Right? Okay, fine. There, you wanted it. You wanted it. You got it. Nobody can answer that so far, by the way. Nobody has an answer for that kid. Right? You know what their only argument is? He's a pervert. Yeah. And I'm breaking down your doors of your church and your synagogue and your mosque, and I'm taking your Bibles and your Korans and your Torahs, and I'm showing you, I'm exposing you like you deserve. Why? Because you need to be free, bro. You need to be free. My monist brothers and sisters, you need to be free. Welcome to freedom. Freedom is looking exactly into the eyes of that pit. Let's go. Okay, we got a couple. Come on, Amin. You're working it up too long. It's taking too long. Give it to me. Give it to me. Here it is. Oh, God. Watch this, people. Watch this. Okay, look. I want you to see in one of these medical texts, he's talking about a rising up of the flesh in response to the ankistron. What is that? Give me the next one. What is that? It's a little pricker. It's a little pricker, right? A fish hook, a little hook or a spindle, generally a hook, right? You can get a response out of the flesh. Watch this. What happens when we take that hook and we apply it in the rite? What happens when we add the iron to the rite? Watch the magic happen. And the apostle raises her. It doesn't say this. Says this before. The apostle raises her, right? And she sits up and she sees the apostle, right? Standing there. Now I'm translating. Standing there right across from her, right? And she jumps out of the bed and she falls down before his feet, right? And she says, "Hey, I'm in real need of you, Lord." Right? She's talking to Thomas, right? And she says, "Since this is the man who was with me." Wait, wait a minute. And didn't leave me. Is she talking to him? I think so. And didn't leave me, right? And took her to this terrible awful place, right? She's talking. She just got revived. What happened to her? She got taken to a terrible, awful place. It was stinky too. It was stinky too. I'm going to show you that in a minute, but there's a reason that it stank in a certain way. Are we going to hell? We are. We are. Are you ready? There's a twist in the end, so don't be too secure in yourself. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. Let's go right into hell. What did she see? Thomas asks her, he says, what did you see? Right? He says to her, exegesai himen pu paregeno. Tell us where you went. And so the text says, I'm translating, she answered him and she said, yeah, you know, you're the one with me. Right? Right? Wait a minute. Okay. It's kind of strange, right? And with whom, right? This thing was given. I'm going to change that from with whom to by whom. By whom this sealing, this process was given. She began to speak. Anthropostis. Some guy came up to me. He took me. And this dude did not look good at all. And he had a very dark, kind of scary aspect, right? And his clothes were foul, baby. This guy had been rooting around some kind of trash heap or something, right? Dude really stank, right? And this, oh God, what happened? So he leads me over. He leads me over to this place where there are these massive holes, these pits. Right? And out of these pits are coming this dusodia, this terrible smell, right? And this vapor is just like wafting out of these things, right? Right? And so what happens? She looks into the chasms, and what does she see? She sees a fire that is incendiary. It's just burning, just blazing fire. Give me the next one. Blazing fire. Are you ready? I told you we're going to go to hell, right? Everybody knew there'd be fire, right? I hope you didn't dress too warmly, right? And what does she see in the chasm with this? She saw this fire, and there were these trochoi of fire. Now, you and I know because we've seen these are the drugs. It's another word for drug. It's so specific. It's a larger pill than normal. You might say a horse pill, right? The small ones are the trochiskoi. And what are all the people doing in hell? They're under the influence, it says, of the drugs. Let's see what happens. Wait a minute. This is hell? I thought I took drugs here and then I went to hell. No. Turns out you go to hell and you take drugs in hell. Now, let's see what happens. Now, it's not happy, right? This isn't, please, for those of you who are like, dude, I'm going. Just hang on. Just hang on before you give it a second thought. You know, go ahead, give me. And so these trochoi of fire, these fire drugs, right? And that's very specific because they have what's called the seeds of fire in them, right? They are the ones that are exerting their power, right? And these souls that are under these influence, they're struggling with each other and they're shouting. And what are they doing? They're making ololugmos. They're making this mournful hallelujah. Did you know hallelujah goes both ways? You can say it when the bell's being rung, hallelujah, Mary. You know what I mean? Or you can say it the other way. Oh, hallelujah. Right? This is the second of those two. They're making mourning sounds in hell. You know where they're making mourning sounds? There's nobody there to cleanse them. The fire is burning off the things they did. The fire is burning it off. Right? These are the souls, he says, that are just like you. All right, saying that to the, Mr. dark, right? He's like, ooh, mystery. This is mystery dark goat man. You know what I mean? Right? And what is he seeing there? He's seeing there people who are suspended by the power of the drugs in a state. In a state. Do you know who these are? These are the people that we send. Right? Do you get it? Do you understand the functioning of the mystery? It's the physics, people. I'm telling you, it's the physics. You just follow the physics. Keep going. These Christian orgies are fantastic. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. What happens? He says, look, for a pretty good number, right? They have a certain time to be punished, he says, right? And to be really rubbed down. It's not really, it's like broken down, right? Ektripsen, right? Process of breaking you down, right? And when they're done, these people in hell, the next batch comes in, right? And after that, it just just keeps going over and over and over. And I want to read you the last line of this. He says, Autai eisin hai metalaxasai andros. Oh, God. What? Look at the second to last word. There's our Metalica. There's our Metalica. Is it right there? Give it to me, Chewy. Give it to me. What are they doing? They are using the Metalica to switch their duality of male and female. They're using the drug to enter a place of switching. Right? I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you all in the Greek. But just so you know, what is that which is Metalica? Right? It's something that's mind. Mind. What do you mean mind? Taken out of the ground. You have to diligently search in the ground. And what do you find? Look at number 2 at the bottom, metallic. Well, what do you mean metallic? Pharmaca. That is what is the Metalica. The drugs. That's both Galen and Dioscorides there. He mentions 2 physicians. Galen goes to Limnos and he buys 20,000 of these pills. Right? This is not, it's a big deal in antiquity. It's not like this stuff is hiding and cannot be easily uncovered, right? It's just ridiculous, right? There they are. What is this text saying? Go back to that text. What is this text saying? These are those who use the Metalica to what? Next one, to switch over their sun usia, right? To find that place that is both masculine and feminine, right? That union, to enter into that union. I told you, these Christian rites are sexual rites. They are sexual rites. And what are the people doing? What are the people doing who are being punished? They're entering into those very same rites. And their brefe, their fetuses are there to cry out against them. Where are they? Bring the babies on. Do you know what's around these people? Do you know what's around these people? Exactly what you're saying here. You could not have captured it better. This is what the text says. It says the babies are writhing around, wrestling each other, combat, right, with each other. You see that baby in the back? He's about to give that other baby an uppercut. You know what I mean? That's an angry. Do we have any more babies in hell? Babies in hell. And why are they there, people? They're a testimony. Who are they torturing with the babies in hell and Thomas? You're torturing people who were unfaithful to their spouses. If you are unfaithful to your spouse, this is what your baby does. Right? Right? This is the baby rum. Now, when I say unfaithful to your spouse, what I mean is you did not have a holy union. You did not have a holy union. This is where your kids are going to end up. Do you see? Now, make sure you understand the mental image of the fighting babies, right? We have people suspended by their tongues. They're floating in the air, suspended by their tongues. Fire is coming out of them. Why? Why is that fire coming out of them? It's because of those drugs, man. It's because of those drugs. Let's see what happens. Do you know who it was? I think it was the person, right? It was the person. There we are. Right now, imagine, right below this person being suspended. What is she looking at? She's looking at an upside down huddle of babies on fire, punching each other, right? Biting each other, doing, you know what I'm talking about when you're at the grocery store. You see that? Chewy knows what I'm talking about, right? Right? Those 18-month-olds, they get the eye on you, and they're like, next thing you know, she's like, Daddy, right? The kid's looking at me. Oh, they all do that, right? You're not going to see that baby's right hook in hell, but it's there, and it's there for you to contemplate as you hang upside down. Give me the next one. Did we go to the right place? I think we asked for meat, man. Look, I just want you to see, this is the passage that says they're fetuses, right? It's brefe. It's even earlier than like newborn. It's like they're fetuses, right? Maybe these are the ones that are aborted. Maybe that's what they are. Now think about that for a minute. Think about that. What's going on in the mind of the author who's writing this, right? Because what do we know is associated with these ancient cult sex rites, whether they're Christian or not, or a different sect? These mystery cults, what do we know for a fact? They're controlling birth through abortion directly. Sometimes they're taking the abortifacient, they're applying it, right? It's something that you use. You see a lot of it in like douching processes. You expose the body to an irritant, essentially, that will kick out and expel that undeveloped fetus. And then if you're meat man, you eat that fetus along with your children that you are selling. Do you understand? If you want to maintain meat man mentality, you're going to have to do this. Did you see what Thomas said? He said, this is crazy stuff, man. This is the crazy sex rite. Do you understand? The wizard knows, man. Gandalf knows a lot more than you think. That's why I don't like Gandalf, man, because he's never on the up and up. Dude's always with hobbits talking about, no, okay, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I don't want to go there. You know what I mean? Let's go to the next one. We'll leave that. Leave that to them, right? Let's figure out the real before we screw up the fairy tale. Fantastic. What happens here? So look, I just want you to see, she's looking into the chasms, right? And she kind of tiptoes and leans over the edge. And what does she see? Borboron. If you are a Bart, now people laugh at me and they say, oh, when he puts down English and he says it's a bog trotting language, I'm doing that from text, baby, because look at the word here in Greek, borboron. What is that? It's a ground that is moist and kind of takes you into it when you walk through it. You leave big impressions and it's sticky. It's hard to pull slog your feet through those bogs and your bore. And what do they call people like this? They live in London, right? They live in, sorry, London. This is ancient London, right? Which was nothing, which was absolutely nothing, right? Why? Language is why. Bar. There was only one language from antiquity that was music. Music in a verbal form. That's life, baby. And it was ancient Greek. Mother Greek, we love you, baby. You're so hot. And it gets me. It gets my goat when people don't appreciate the gorgiosity of ancient Greek. And they think that all languages are born the same. Right? They're not. The cross hides a multitude of sin. Underneath that cross are all those illegitimate languages with their tiny vocabularies. There's a lot of them, people. There's a lot. Thank you, Penelope, for coming. People, the point of Penelope is to show you behind the cross are a multitude of sins, and that cross is hiding those sins from you. Love you, Penelope. I love her so much. I'm not quite sure, but why? Go to the next one. I don't know. It's did you see? Bring her back up here. Now that we did this, look, seriously, I feel responsible. This is a living being, man. Penelope's a living being. But let's just say, look at the coat on her. That's absolutely gorgeous. Look at it. It's so soft, right? It's like sleek, right? For the congregation that has goats out there, right? Look at the confirmation. Look at those little muscles. That's gorgeous, right? And she's got kind of a funny look in her face, right? Like, I know more than you, dummy. Right? I love it. You got to love goats, man. Everybody, go join your 4-H group. Tell them Almond sent you to find beautiful goats. Give me the next one, quick, before they think about the goats anymore. Look, these are the souls of women who are suspended there. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take these women, we're going to throw them into a bog full of scolacus, full of worms, and the worms are crawling on them. And the soul, you can tell, I'm total misogynist, wrote this, right? And their souls, right? Their souls are going to be tortured there. Oh, God. These are the souls of the women who turned away from their men. They turned to other men, right? And they entered into this. Oh, God, this is why they're being tortured here. Somebody turn up the babies for these women, right? Do you see why sex is considered by Christianity to be the ultimate evil? Do you see why Eve is blamed? Right? It's strictly the sex thing. Strictly the sex. Right? She was supposed to be the element of Adam's invulnerability. That is nothing like what you are talking about when you say, well, she was the one who brought the sin into the world. Right? What is on her body is not in need of covering with a cross. Antiquity that figured out democracy, they didn't need that cross. Show the beauty. That was the result. Give me the next couple of texts, and then we're done, people. This is going to get kind of a little bit dark here, right? Please. Next one. And what happens? These souls, right? They're suspended there by their tongues, and they're called devils. Why? Because they spoke things that were false, things they were not ashamed to speak, but they should have been, right? They should have been. It's that tongue. It's that tongue by which you are suspended. Now, Satanic Congregation, we got off the time ship a long time ago. And you are looking at these people as they're laying there in the midst of their rites, and you can see their tongues of fire. You can see their tongues of fire, and every charismatic in the country, every charismatic on the continent, every charismatic on the planet just sat up and went, huh? Something tingled somewhere, right? Some of them were driving and they felt something tingle. Is there something on the seat? What's going on? Right? Why? Because this is the heart of that charismatic movement. It is legitimate. Christians were charismatic first. And how do we get those drugs? We get those drugs from these rites. Don't you be taking a cup of porneia that belongs to Lady Babylon. Do you understand? Does it now make sense why the books are written the way they are? Of course it does. This is what the theologians do not want you to have. This is what rabbis, priests, and mullahs do not want you to have. They don't want you to have access to those originals. That's why they do things like ban books. This is one of the books they banned because it presents Christianity as a drug-fueled sex rite. Fantastic. Lastly, let's go. I think there's a couple. Yeah. Who are these people? Who are these people who lie so much? You're going to love this. Are you ready? Are you ready? They're the gymnokephaloi. They're those with the shaven heads. Those with the shaven heads. All right. All right. Let's do the Scythian thing. Let's do the Scythian thing. Finally, something really neat. Something really neat. I'll just say it. Okay. They're gonna look in hell. I'm sorry. But if you have lived your life, take it down. I'm just going to paraphrase it. If you have lived your life, ready? Hold yourself to this standard. This is the Christian standard. If you have lived your life seeking gain, if you have lived your life seeking gain, you are going to be suspended in hell. Yeah, you're going to be suspended, tortured, grievously tortured. Wait, what? That's the standard. I didn't say if you're looking for something over and above what takes you to survive. I didn't say that. I said gain. Is that what your life is about? Gain, right? You know, the artists out there, you know, you can't do that with your art. You got art and you got gain. You know what I mean? It's purity. That reason, you can't prostitute reason, baby. That's why she's so powerful in science, because you can't prostitute her, right? Reality is reality. Give me the next one. That's metal, isn't it? Isn't that metal? I love that. I love that. By the way, thanks, Teddy, for the gorgeous song. I was going to play Chewy again, but I think I'll just leave that exit for the exit. Look what happens here. I lined you up for a whole bunch of stuff. Finally, she's there in the underworld. She's watching all this horror. She sees the babies and she sees the liars, right? And now she comes to the cave, the Antron, right? And what happens in the cave? It's very dark. It's very dark. And to make a long story short, place stinks again. Oh God, it stinks. And the souls that are there, look, when they get finished, they rotate them out. And this is like their collection point where they get booted out. Right. And there's at this cave, there are these terrible vapors coming out. And there are these women in there. They're sucking bad air. Bad air. Look like fish out of water. And all they're trying to do is get out of that cave. But there are guardians in the cave. They won't let them out. They won't let them out. No, everything has to proceed naturally. And your purgation is the mystery. This is the surprise. Welcome. Welcome to hell. This thing you call life is your purgation. This is the kingdom of the devil. And it's all about you getting what you deserve. Right? So you can be a prisoner or you can be a guard, and you can pick up that whip and you can help purge. I love it. I love it. Last one. Was there anything beautiful in this one? I just want to see. Oh, yeah. No, this. Oh, look, the people burst out and they're like, look, they're talking to Thomas. They say, look, this is where we're from. Right? We have parousia. We have that free speech, right? Through these rites. Oh, God. What have these people left? Go ahead, take it down. What do these people say that they've done? They say, look, we have left, the text goes on, we have left mothers. We have left fathers. We have left husbands. We have left wives. We have left children to be part of an ionic life. We have had our eyes opened. We gave you everything. Oh, did I forget to mention that? You give all of your earthly possessions to the guy who casts out your sexual demons while you're in a semi-comatose, narcotized state. Aphrodisiacs flowing through your blood, and you're dying. And this person is bringing you to sexual climax while you do. Yeah. Sounds like you've been there. Sounds like you've been to that P. Diddy party. Right? Please, people. Tonight's episode is brought to you by the Metalica. It is the earth-born healing power that brings back the mystery. Our job is to profane that mystery, to bring it out in the open so that you can see it and so that you can be free. Thank you for coming tonight. Hail Satan.
Medulla the Venus, cry for Jesus. If you're riding with me, Pied Piper, Swarthy Pete, the devil who stole the babies, shining lights, eyes to see. The pseudo masquerade of the devil woman, dragon queen, Diana, Athena, sunny disposition, walking on the wild side, sail away to the lands far, where the wild things are, dipped in dragon venoms, free digital scale for your dope dealing, pill crushing, bad shit addiction, fused to black mirrors, the living death, for what is real, Urania, Skulda, Medulla, the sorceress, culture the crow, slaves to the dope. Hail Satan, jar full of gypsy tears.
Call me the boogeyman. No one can